Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know I do this. I'm back again with Knicks and Bruises, episode number 9, I believe. I got my guy, the Prince Bun. What's going on, Prince?
Hey man, this is a pleasure, bro. Like I said, I'm with royalty right now, so hey, I'm up here. This is a pleasure, bro.
Happy to have you on, man. I appreciate you dedicating some time, put some time aside for me. Um, as you know, Knicks and Bruises. It's all about our worst memories and moments as Knicks fans. We've been through a lot over the years,
It's
and you know,
1946, 1946.
I want to hear your stories, your worst memories, your little nicks, and your bruises.
Man, well, man, Tone, as we was rapping, man, and as I tell a lot of people, I grew up in, I grew up in New York, but because again, it's the concrete jungle. Mom had to get us out of there, you know what I'm saying? So I thank God for that. But that Nick blood don't stop pumping in you. That New York blood don't stop pumping in you. So I still had, Nick love, but honestly, as much as I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be honest with it. I grew up, when I got here to Michigan, being in the middle of Detroit and Chicago, I only in the 90s, we only got to watch either WGN or Fox. So it was either Pistons TV and mostly Pistons, and then, WGN, they had a channel, so we got to watch WGN. So, I hate to say it, naturally, MJ's the GOAT. He's, my favorite player. So I grew up a Bulls fan, as much as I hate to say it. But, after that 90s dynasty and when we went on our run, I low key became, I jumped back on the bandwagon, so to say. But I wasn't a real, I really wasn't even an NBA fan because I hated, the Laker dynasty. I hated the fact that, the Knicks couldn't get their stuff together. The Isaiah years, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff, even though, they was trying to win and trying to figure a way out, you got to give them some credit for that. It still hurt to grow up in Michigan and get beat up by, Bulls fans and Pistons fans and, everybody in the world talking about New York is trash, and stuff. But even though we still had an identity, and then, when we lost our identity, it got horrible. And, honestly, my love regained watching our boy Melo, watching him at Syracuse. I had a dream that maybe, Melo could be in New York. He was a New York guy, kind of the same story as Obi. But, just Melo for what, where New York was and what we needed. Melo was he was it. He was everything for what we needed, and Melo ended up in Denver. But, years later, the infamous, Melo forced trade, and here we are, 20 some, 15 years later, and, it is what it is. But, outside of that, Tone, it was tough, but, as you see, loyalty is everything, man. And, once a Nick, always a Nick. And, now our Knicks are growing again, Tone. And hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm on the Knicks and Bruises show with my boy Tone Crow. with the King. What's popping?
Not much, man. Not much, man. So, I that's one thing I definitely didn't know about you. I didn't know you was a Bulls fan at any point. Michael Jordan was like, I hated Jordan so much I didn't even really get to appreciate him. Um, like I knew how good he was, but never liked him.
Right.
Back then you asked me who was the best. It was Magic all day. You know what I mean? Like
That's
I
that New
just
York. That's that New York.
yeah
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And honestly, I guess, because again, and this is something that, we all could, I know Sim, if he watching, or, we talk about this probably after the show, and it's something we'll talk about on the front stoop. But, being a New Yorker, but growing up and, the philosophy and, like I said, like I was telling you about my mom and how she used to kick game about the Knicks and, New York to us, you know what I'm saying, as we grew up, so that we never forgot our identity, you know what I'm saying, as far as who we really was. But, what I was going to say was, that argument, like you said, like even though I still knew I was a Knick, and it was like I said, it was like blasphemy to say that, dang, I'm a Bulls fan, knowing how many fights MJ had with the Knicks, the Cartwright to trade for Oakley, all of that, you know what I'm saying? And being in Michigan, it was like I couldn't. So when you say that, Tone, that's my argument for Kobe. Like I couldn't respect Kobe's game for my own personal reasons because again, whatever. But like you said, for MJ, same difference. Growing up in New York, but you knew this dog to go. I wish he was wearing the Knick jersey. But what I was gonna say also, Tone, what tipped me off and what my argument point was this, Tone. MJ was born in New York. So regardless of the fact, Tone Crow, he's still a New Yorker, so I can still root for MJ. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was born there and they moved to North Carolina, shoot, who knows, a couple years later. But again, regardless, he still got Knick blood in him too, regardless of the fact. But, just because of, my demographics, Tone Crow, it is what it is.
Hey, I ain't even mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. You here now. You with the team now. So that's all. That's all that's important. I was just saying that my Knicks fandom and the abuse we took from him, it would not even allow me to acknowledge his greatness at the time. I had to wait to give him any kind of credit. And because of that, it allowed me to appreciate Kobe. It allowed me to appreciate LeBron James in real time because I didn't want to. I didn't think that was right. With that, you know what I mean? My bias for Jordan all them years, I didn't think it was right. So I learned from it.
That's some real stuff, Tony. Honestly, bro, that's what, as much as I'm glad that I can give you your roses right now in real time, because again, bro, it's stories like this and mine that, your show can, bring light to, and, even still with the hurt and the pain, so many backstories. Because again, everybody hear me, they know I'm a Knoxer. They know I go hard for the Knicks. I support the MBK fam to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? But with that, like you said, Tone, like, dang, B, I didn't know you rock, black and red, and stuff. But again, I definitely, even still when the Knicks was going through their woes, I still wanted us to win. But, just by nature and for what it was, through and through, I was definitely an MJ fan, bro.
So let me ask you this: Knicks and Bruises, was it still? How could it be the bruise for you to watch him destroy like the bruise it was for me? It wasn't the same for you.
It was, but it wasn't, because again, as a Knick fan, like you said, you sitting there and I'm like, damn, I definitely won't. It puts us in the argument state where again, where people like, because again, I got like Tone, like I got it, where people just looked at me like, oh, you from New York, you think you better than everybody. Like, dog, I'm just a dude. Y'all treat me worse than anybody. I'm the new guy. Like, I want to be accepted. Like, I left my home. Like I said, Tone, I was laughing. I think I said it in the chat. Like, dude, no, I put it on Twitter. Like, the first thing I did when I got to Michigan, Tone, was I stole a crate, bro. I think it was like an orange crate, and I cut the bottom out of it, and I posted it up to like our garage. I didn't even have a basketball. That's how you tell me I'm so New York. I see, who is that? Kevin Berger. He said I don't even think he ever publicly claimed New York, even though he was born here. Hey, I am New York through and through. 173rd and Broadway.
No, he talking about Jordan. He talking about Jordan.
He said Jordan. True, yeah, but yeah, Jordan. Oh, okay, he was talking about MJ. But yeah, definitely, yeah, because definitely he grew up in the South. You know what I'm saying? And again, he didn't know New York. Now his brother, definitely grew up, and probably kicked it around while his mom and them was grinding. But I'm pretty sure they had, roots in North Carolina or something for them to go, leave New York, and go down there. But, it's history. It is what it is. But regardless of what you say, the man birth certificate say Brooklyn. The man birth certificate say Brooklyn. So it is what it is.
No, for sure, for sure. So, yeah, that's deep, man. You,
Yeah.
you didn't get to suffer. It was like you moved to a new place. Everybody out there obviously was Jordan Bulls fans or Detroit
Well,
fans,
yeah, it was
which is
Pistons.
which which
Yeah, it
is
was
which is
Pistons.
crazy
Right. Yeah.
to be in Detroit and then to be rooting for the Bulls. That got to be tough too.
That's right. So right. So now I'm even more of an oxymoron. So now I'm like, what? You from New York, and again, like, okay, yeah, we see you might rock your little Ewing jersey, but again, outside of that, like, you say MJ the best, and you want to be Jordan or a playground, you out here, 32 win MJ in it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't out here talking about Starks and all of them. But again, like I said, I still respected, Starks. I loved his tenacity. I loved his game. Honestly, my favorite Nick, and I was thinking about it. It was one of the chats that everybody, was talking about their favorite Nick. And I really sat back and thought about it. As much as I love P Ewing, and he's definitely, obviously the greatest Nick, really, if you really break it down, at least to our generation, or at least to me too. But I think my favorite Nick would have to be Mason. Like, Anthony Mason was probably my favorite Nick. You know what I'm saying? Like, his game. That's why, like, now, when I was hating on Julius, I kind of felt like real salty at myself. Like, dang, bro, you really hated on young Mason. Like, for real. And watching now, I'm like, but we can't really put them two and two. Mason was a whole different ball game.
Yeah, he was a brute, but I actually still like the comparison, especially with Riley having him bring the ball up and run the offense through him at times. So I actually like that comparison.
Yeah.
In hindsight, you know what I mean.
My favorite, yeah. So Mace probably was my favorite. I would have to say, like, if anybody, and honestly, when we got LJ, I was happy about that pickup. I really thought, and see, that's when I was starting to get a little older. So now and the internet was opening up now. So now I could, find other ways to, check up on the Knicks outside of, when they play the Pistons, or when they, when the Bulls, when they play the Bulls. So, like I said, when we picked up LJ, I was definitely excited about that pickup. And Tone, I guess my favorite Nick moment, if I don't know if that was a question, I might be jumping the gun.
Yeah, don't go there. Don't go
okay,
yet.
Okay.
Let's stick with the Knicks and the Bruises. So let me get some of your worst. Let's go with the Knicks first. The minor ones.
Yeah,
so we'll go with Knicks first. Like something that didn't hurt you that bad, but you know what I mean. It was just a little nick instead of a. You know what I mean. The bruises. We'll get to the bruises after that.
Let me see. What was the Nick?
And while you think of that, I will say this: growing up, Starks was probably my favorite Nick, as far as like actively watching them as a kid. It was just something about one. I always like to shoot threes, so that was one of the things, and it was just something about how hard he played, man. Even when he didn't play well, you could tell he was giving all his effort. You know what I mean? Never the most talented guy on the squad, but just fought harder than anybody else.
Right. And it's funny that you say that, because like now I'm wondering, like it ain't really a Nick, but it's one of those that when you're talking about that, and it's an infamous actually play, and I honestly not even infamous. I would have to say, dang, I'm over here sad because I'm kind of speechless for words, but it's even deeper than that. But just the infamous Starks dunk, it was anything but, for what happened behind that was more of a Nick, because again, even still, I'm a Jordan fan, but I knew what that would do to the Bulls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you was like, okay, like you started something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that was a play that I was like, I wish
woke,
it wouldn't have happened, right? I wish
woke
it
the
would just
sleeping
made it.
giant.
Exactly. I wish then that, you know, like you said, they might have stole that game and it would have been a different series. And you know, you're looking at something different. But when you did that, and you know, MJ like, oh, this little, and you know, it erupted. The whole place erupted. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, hey, you know, MJ and Phil had to quiet that noise. That was a Nick. But I'm trying to think, what it was.
That's a good one.
It was a trade that hurt me. Who was that, man? It wasn't. I keep thinking. I keep thinking about the big trade of the Melo trade, but it was a trade before that really killed us too. That really kind of hurt me more. Is like, what the heck? What are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? What is the direction that we're going in? And I honestly think the Banyarni pickup would have to be a real big nick to me, because that hurt me. Because again, now I think, like I said, at that time, I think I'm in college at that time. So now I'm a Knick fan for real now. Because like I said, now it's like, okay, we done had Steph, we had Marbury, you know, we done had Stevie Franchise. We done had a couple guys. Shoot, that's when we went with the experiment with the T-Mac, with the, you know,
Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's the time where we in the water and we definitely drowned it, but at least we tried to, you know, swim Tone Pro. So again, and I think that the Banyarni pickup was definitely a Nick that just was like that killed us. It set us back, you know, for what it was, for what we gave up, for the fact that he didn't even produce. So that was a big Nick. That was a big Nick.
Who? Yeah, that was tough, man. And I didn't like it from the beginning. I understood what they were trying to do. I understood his skill set for his size, but the kid hadn't panned out so far. So you know what I mean? Like it just didn't make sense. I felt like it was Keith Van Horn all over again, and I thought Keith Van Horn was a better player, you know, in his prime.
Yeah.
So
and he and for what we thought Keith Van Horn was gonna do, you know, and what he could have brought to the position. Because I'm trying to think who do you remember who all was running with him at that time? Because we had a decent little squad with them, didn't we? That was
I want to say that was Marbury's first year with us.
I think I was gonna say that. I was gonna say like Marbury. We had a couple other cats. Did we have an Asian Tim Thomas at the time? Is that we didn't have him at the time? It was was he on that team? Okay, I was okay. I think that. All right, okay.
I don't know how many of the episodes you watch, but one of my big Knicks was the Knicks Nets series in the playoffs when Kenyon Martin gave that hard foul on Tim Thomas, and I don't even think it was called a flagrant, but that pissed me off. And then the fact that, you know, he laid on the floor waiting for his teammates to come pick him up,
and nobody helped to do.
And nobody picked him up. Nobody got in Kenyon's face. You know what I mean? Like they was literally like standing at the free throw line, like get up, come shoot your free throws.
I'm trying to think if I'm rewinding it back. So is that what didn't we have like what's his name? Big fella.
Curry?
Yes, Eddie Curry. Somebody else. Who else? Was it Curry? Yeah, I think that was Curry. That's what I'm thinking about. Yep. Curry.
I think so. Yep.
Curry. Yep. Oh man.
And I felt like that moment right there, like, because I wanted to keep Tim Thomas. Like I thought Tim Thomas' skill set was like, again, like going back to the Keith Van Horn, he was just more fluent with it. Like he was like really a guard in a forward's body.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Yes. Like he had handle, could shoot the ball with the best of them. play defense. Yeah, man. So
Tim
I
Thomas
felt
had
like that made us lose him. Nobody defended him. Him and
yeah,
Kenny Martin went back and forth in the media, and at this point, I don't know what year this was as far as the Nets run, but whether it started it or it was in the middle of it, but the Nets was on a run. They was in the Eastern Conference Finals like
yeah,
4 years
yeah,
in a row.
yeah.
So yeah, that was tough.
That was definitely. And thinking about it, and it's sad that now you bring that up because again, I bet to a lot of Knicks fans, what I'm saying, Tim Thomas era, like you said, probably was a blink to them. But much like you said, I always enjoyed Tim Thomas's game. Like I said, I thought that he could have been, a LeBron, what I'm saying, that wing that definitely can't be stopped because again, that time in the NBA,
KD.
yeah, that a KD, that time in the NBA, wings, wings were wings, but you ain't never seen a 240-pound wing like that. Like we said, like I said, like I love Mace, like you said, but we, what I'm saying, yeah, we did see Mace come down on the fast break and do what he did, but on a consistent basis where
Yeah, I mean, you talk about.
he pop, 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 pop. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
And doing, doing his thing. So
There
yeah,
you go.
and that's how Tim Thomas definitely could have been. And I wish he would have been for us because again, he could have definitely helped take a lot of stress off of Marbury. And I'm trying to think, who did we have at two guard at that time?
Was it Crawford? I don't think so.
Did we have? I
I'm
know
not
one
sure
of
if
them
it was.
years at that time we definitely probably had it.
I'm not sure. I just know I was so disappointed in that team. Like that was like one of my low moments where my expectation was still high. You know what I mean? Like we weren't on this horrific losing stretch. Like we were still getting in the playoffs or fighting to get to the playoffs. Like we wasn't the laughing stock yet.
Yeah.
So
But you say told we wasn't the laughing stock yet. We was on our way, but we wasn't there yet.
Yeah, I just got sad for a moment because I forgot how we was like literally the laughing stock of the league, and
Okay,
it was to the point where
it must have been the 20 because I'm looking at the 27, the 07, our 07 team. Man, Tone, Zach Randolph, Channing Frye, Eddie Curry, Steph Marbury. That must have been the year we drafted.
It was before that.
Wilson Chandler.
Yeah, it was maybe a year or two before that.
Okay, and that's what I'm thinking. That must have been 05. Let me look at 05 roster. Okay, dang, Matt Barnes paid for us? I did not know. I did not remember that.
Yep.
Wow.
Jalen Rose played for us.
Nazi Mahani. I remember that.
I think Jalen Rose might have been on that team, matter of fact.
Crawford definitely. Yeah, I'm trying to find the Tim Thomas year. That must have been like 03 then. Let me see, 03.
And I want to say he was only here 1 year. Like
yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. I don't think that's what I said. He was here for a blimp. So it had to be because 03 we had McDyess and Eddie Curry. Yeah, Mutombo. Agent Mutombo.
I remember that. Let me see if I can find it too.
Yeah, Tim Thomas for us. But yeah, man, and like I said, and as I look at some of these rosters, it's crazy, the amount of, early talent that we did have that we never could really put it together. And, a backstory with Wilson, I guess that's another Nick too. That's crazy that now I'm looking at the roster.
It was 05.
Was it 05? Okay. Mm-hmm. So 05 was the Tim Thomas year. Okay. So, Tony, if I could speak to another Nick, being out here, Wilson Chandler, he played at Ben Harbor, Michigan, Ben Harbor High School. That's like about 45 minutes from me. So, when he was growing up, I got a chance to watch him play out here before he went to DePaul. So, watching his story and then for the Knicks to draft him, and us not to give him the chance to develop and stay a Knick, and for us to ship him out in that Melo trade, that definitely was that was a Knick, bigger than the Melo trade. We ain't gonna get to that. That's a bruise, but you know what I'm saying. The Knick of that was definitely the Wilson Chandler will not being able to stay at Knick, because that was definitely a personal pick. That was super dope. That was super dope.
Yeah, I liked Wilson.
Yeah.
I felt like if we could have just held out one player in that Melo trade, it would have made a huge difference.
It would have made a huge, and I think it would have been him. Even if
it could have been anyone, man. It could have been him. It could have been Felton. It could have been Moscow. Like, just any one of them, I think would have changed
to help him.
The trajectory of the team.
How many picks did we end up giving up?
Maybe 3.
We just gave up 3 picks in 4 years.
No, we gave up 4 starters and at least a bench player. We gave up 5 or 6 players. 4 of them were starters.
Yeah, man. We ain't gonna talk about bruises right now. That's a bruise. That's a bruise.
That is definitely a bruise. That is definitely a bruise.
That's a bruise, man. But that's a little backstory too to my Knick fandom. Yeah, definitely. I got a chance to watch Wilson, play out here. He was cold. I definitely thought he was. I didn't know he would be a Knick, but I knew he was cold, man. Watching him, and even crazier than that, they put out a talent a couple years, my year, Robert Whaley, who was a 7-footer, who was a lottery pick from Ben Harbor. So he wasn't a Knick, but so man, but yeah, that's definitely some little Knick stories.
I played with I don't think I played with him. I went to school with a dude that was drafted by the Miami Heat, 7-footer.
That's dope.
He only played 1 year though. But what else you got for me as far as bruises? Let's get into some of the heavy ones.
Well, I guess since we already there, Tone, we might as well. I mean, that's probably one of the most hurtful ones. But like I said, I know you got a ton of them when it comes to the bruises. Because again, you definitely had a front seat, view of it. But me, I think that Melo trade, man, it hurt, like you said, for so many reasons. It was the ripple effect behind it. It was, just everything else that we lost. The fact that we couldn't help him, even though, do we really think Melo, as much as he was screaming, he needed help, but it was like, you gave all your help away, like, you know what I'm saying? And then we brought in Murray, you know what I'm saying? And then you brought in, a couple other pieces that they try to compliment him with. And it just, obviously, as we see, as history tells us, it just didn't work. But, it just was a bruise because, like you said, we gave up so many assets. It truly set the team back in a way that, the magnitude is still being, like I said, the ripple effects are still being felt here. I mean, how many years later? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, almost 15 years later. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then to top it off, right after that, we amnesty Billups on a final year of his contract.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling. That's another bruise. Another bruise.
That was the worst thing, because it's like, just deal with the 1 year and then you have that cap space to go after whomever is available.
Even still, what was his play doing that was so detrimental to what? So again, that's the thing I didn't understand. You got big shot Billups who just came off of a championship, three-peat. You know what I'm saying? So again, you gotta. They just came off a championship three-peat. They had lost. I think that next season, I think that other season he came up for I don't know how. I don't even know how did he end up in New York? Was he traded or was
he came with Melo, didn't he? From Denver.
You sure right. You're right. He came
with Melo from Denver.
So wow.
The rumor
I
was
take that back. So that was before he got his championships.
No, that's after. That's way after. His championship was way before that. Remember, he came to Denver after AI. The AI experiment with Melo didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? Oh, 8?
It was okay. Detroit Pistons. They won it. They won it in
Oh,
04. I don't know. I don't think they three-peated. I take that
no,
back.
no, no,
Pistons
no.
didn't three-peat.
No, they only won one.
Yeah, they only won one. I take that back. I'm sorry.
I think they
No,
were
but
in
yeah,
the
that was
Eastern Conference Finals 3 years.
yeah, in 3 years. Yep, they came back to back, and then I think because I want to say what 10-year Pistons Detroit Pistons championship in 04. And Melo didn't get there to 07. So yeah, okay. So now I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That does make
Yeah,
sense.
he came in the Melo trade.
Yeah.
And it just like,
That's how we picked him
it
up.
made no sense. Like, he was productive. He had 1 year left. A guy like him in the final year of his contract, you trade that guy
Yeah,
if you know what I
trading.
mean,
It
and
didn't
pick
make
up
no
an
sense.
asset. Like, that just goes to show how bad the organization was, the front office was. Like, they were not, and we're gonna get into the new front office and how savvy they are, but they had no swag to them. They had no. It was like paper pitching. Is that what it's called? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had no. They didn't look under the table. They didn't look. You know what I mean? They just focused. We're gonna paper pushing. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do. They had no tricks, no nothing, man. It was horrible.
Yeah, that like I said, and that's why I said it just set us back so bad because again, for what it was worth, if one sensible part of that trade wouldn't have been done, Tone, like you said, who knows how, like you said, how less of the ripple effects would have happened, like you said, if you keep one of them picks, or if you just say, you know what, hell with all that, we're gonna just be trash and we're gonna pick up Melo in the damn off season. We don't care what the hell he got going on out there in you know what I'm saying, in Denver. We got to deal with what we got going on here in New York. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm not doing that. And then if that's what we doing, if Melo is forcing his way out of there, I'm not going to give you the house for it. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, Tone, it was a lot of just just contempt moves that had made no sense, that just didn't, just didn't make business sense in the bigger scheme of things. Like you said, why pay a guy to walk away? Who's doing a job? It ain't like he was doing a bad job, Tone. It wasn't like he couldn't do the job.
They paid him. They paid him to leave today, when he was already leaving tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, he was leaving
And
tomorrow.
we had picked him up, and like you said, the trade had happened before the trade deadline. So again, what you talking? What you say, Tom? What you talking? Another 30-something games? Like you gotta watch this dude play with Melo for another 30 games, so you can
No,
potentially see.
I think it was the off season. I think it was the off season they did it.
They made that trade because that's what hurt us, is because again,
Oh,
Melo
that's
made
even
that trade. Yeah, they made that trade in the middle, right
no,
before
no,
the
no, no,
trade
no.
deadline.
I'm saying Billups. They amnesty Billups in the
Oh
off
no,
season.
yeah. Oh, I thought they had amnesty Billups right there in the middle of the season.
Mm mm. I'm pretty sure because Tyson Chandler had training camp with us.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, Tyson Chandler had training camp with us.
okay. And that's even sicker then. That's even sicker. That's even
And
sicker.
I believe had we not did that move and waited a year, we would have had Chris Paul
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah,
with a prime Melo.
that's what they said. We would have had enough. They said we'd have had the cap space to do it. So again, or like you said, Tom, the what makes more sense, just trade the dude. You know what I'm saying? Trade him. You know what I'm saying? Don't just cut him. He got value. Somebody would have gave us a second round pick for Chauncey Billups, man. Or you could have did a player. You know what I'm saying? A swaps for a player. Like, I mean, yeah, it just like I said, man,
Yeah,
too many
yeah,
Chiefs, not enough Indians,
that was
man.
bad.
We're
And
just bad, man. Just bad decision making.
did we get to heal from those bruises, or did we have to develop more bruises? Because I think it got worse after that.
It got yes, it did. It got even worser. And I don't even know if that's a word, Tone, as they say it in the King's English. Worser. It got, you know what I'm saying? But definitely, bro. It didn't go upward because, like I said, that's why I spoke about the bunny irony and all of that. Like it just idiotic, man. Just no common sense, no business sense, no basketball sense, just no sense, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just bad, man. Just real bad, bro. I don't know how else to put it, Tone. And again, like I said, now here we are 15 years later, 16, 17 years later, and horrible. You know what I'm saying? Still feeling as we got to look at Murray go crazy in Denver, looking at Jokic go crazy in Denver, and we like, you know what I'm saying, Tom? So yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely, but as much as we hate to say it, we are trending on the upward though. We are trending on the
Oh,
upward.
I love to say it, man. I
Yeah,
love to say it. I mean,
yeah.
let's segue into this current regime because it's it's night and day. You know what I
True.
mean? It's night and day, and it's night and day from top to bottom. This is what I will hate to say. The only thing that is still in place is the ownership. That's the only thing. And I don't
But
want. I mean, unless you want to touch on that, you can.
I will
I-
a little bit because again, I'm one of them that's in the camp because again, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know enough outside of like his corniness. Outside of the basketball, like I gotta give him respect. Like I said earlier when I was speaking to it, about the Knicks and my history with the Knicks is that you got to give him his respect for at least trying to win and trying to put people in a position to win. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that again, current different regimes fell short. You know what I'm saying? And he might have pushed or prodded a little bit too much in situations that made people do certain, what I'm saying, transactions. So again, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's at fault in those cases and especially in different cases. But for what it's worth, I think he's done enough good. I got to give him respect for the Black Wall Street, all Black Wall Street. Even though it didn't amount to nothing and we was trash, but again, to have a black head coach, black president, and a black GM, I got to give Dolan his respect for that because nobody's done it. I don't even think nobody will ever do it again unless LeBron owns his own team. Um, and to speak to that, that's my thing with Dolan. I'm not one of them like, oh, get Dolan out of here, because again, especially seeing that, like you said, Tone, that we segued it into is that Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau and Wes and Perry, and with Perry, these guys are I think they're going to be a very scary and dangerous, tandem moving forward. Because again, if some of these deals that the MBK, what I'm saying, fam been talking about comes to fruition, dude, you got to give these dudes, coach of the year, GM of the year, president of the year. If these
yeah,
guys can, pull off some great trades and push us to a place in the playoffs we ain't never been. You got to give them their roses, Tom.
I agree, but to me that is, I mean, you give Dolan his credit for finally maybe making the right hire, and I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you that. And the one thing, like you and Kayvon says, you can tell Dolan wants to win,
Mm-hmm.
but I only say that because he's been willing to spend money. Like that's his best attribute. He's been willing to spend money throughout the years. Threw
Mm-hmm.
away a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But and I used to be one of the guys that defended James Dolan a little bit, and then it went from defending him to just saying, all right, the hate is overrated and overplayed.
Mm-hmm.
But over these past 5 years, 6 years, I think he's shown too much for me to ever defend him. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, get him out of here. But
Right.
to him, yeah, just stay in the background.
Right. Yeah.
Be a
Yeah.
silent owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep spending the money. I know you want to win, but he's the type of guy when he does, if we do win, he's gonna come out the woodwork. You're gonna
Oh
see
yeah.
him in
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
You're gonna see him everywhere.
I
So
pray not. I hope he don't get corny. I hope he just stay like do your shows when COVID get done. And I know you got an album. You got about 2 albums you've been working on. Drop them albums and and stay doing your thing, man. Let Leon Rose and Wes, orchestrate that Nick thing, and you sit back and like you said, Tom, when it's time to take pictures, you come, kiss babies, shake hands, and take pictures. But outside of that, when it's this business and what goes on in between these white lines, you stay over there making music, brother. You know what I'm saying? You keep making music. So, and you ain't never lie, Kevon. When we win, you know what I'm saying? Again, and that's like Tone said. I think that's definitely what Dolan will be about, and when we get that parade, and he can be in the front of that thing because again he orchestrated it. But with it being said, like I said, I got to give him his respect. But current regime, I wouldn't say the verdict is still out because again, as much as I just praised them, I got to give them their respect because again they've been savvy. They've been very gangster-like, as we all talked about. They haven't really been too loose-lipped and letting stuff slip out and stuff like that. So again, you got to give them respect for changing the culture, much like they said that they were going to do, and they have started to do. We've seen Tom put his footprint. So now let's see, if they can pull off, like I said, Tom. If they can pull off the trade that I want, I'm gonna give them an A. But even still, I still want to hold their feet to the fire because for the Obi trade, and I ain't an Obi hater, but I still think that could have been played a little bit more player. But I think that they were so happy for whatever reason, and they took him, and he's ours now, so it is what it is. But I still think that, I think years down the line, I hope that just don't come down to bite us in the butt.
Hey man, I'm about to give you the floor. I know you want to talk about your guy and the trades you want. You don't got speaking code. The floor is yours. Go ahead and get your Zach Levine talk in there. Go ahead. I'm muted.
If Tone Crow, like you said, the Bruises, the Knicks and Bruises fam, I'm telling you guys, if they can pull off the trade for Levine, they deserve the GM of the year, coach of the year, because again, that it will put us top 3, top 4 in the Eastern Conference, hands down. Like I don't care what anybody says. Bringing in a prolific scorer like Levine, and just being able to pull it off. Like I said, I don't know what it will cost us, and as long as it don't cost us, any of the nucleus or the young guys, I say, we got to do it, right now, because again, you're not gambling for a 32-year-old guy, or something like that. Now you're gambling for a 25, 26-year-old kid who's going to come in and help Julius and RJ and everybody else for the next 5 to 7 years. And why wouldn't you want a 2 guard like that? You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully that's the trade. I know a lot of other people wouldn't mind, going the easy route with Oladipo, which, still wouldn't be a bad trade. But I just think if we want to be great, I think Levine makes us great. You know what I'm saying? I think Levine puts us over the top where everybody can grow together. We can pick up a couple guys, either, late draft pickups, because obviously we got a competent front office. They're going to find gems late in the draft. So again, it ain't like we have to get a number 1 pick anymore, especially if you got a nucleus of RJ, Levine, Randall, Mitch, Obi, quickly keeping my boy Knox. I got to keep him. And like I said, that's a beautiful lineup to run out for the next 7 years, and you just bring in a couple complementary pieces to support those young kids over the next 5 to 7 years, and we might have I wouldn't say a dynasty or nothing crazy like that, but I would definitely say we would have a strong nucleus to fight in the East. That I would say definitely on paper we would be way better than Boston going forward. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think Julius Randle and Zach LaVine is definitely better than Jaylen Brown and your boy Tatum.
I agree. But I gotta give a little bit of pushbacks.
Okay.
A little bit of pushback. And here's the thing. I like Zach LaVine. I think he would fit great. My only concern is what it's gonna cost, which we don't know. I'm not opposed to doing a bunch of draft picks. I'm not opposed to that, and keeping as much as the players who are assets as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I'm not opposed, like I'm more towards Oladipo, is because I know it'll cost less. It'll cost a lot less, and the difference to me in the two players is we've seen what Oladipo has done in the playoffs.
True.
You know what I mean? My big statement, my big stance, and I have yet to be proven wrong, is that superstars are built in the playoffs or made in the playoffs. Until we see what LaVine does in the playoffs, we don't know. So you know what I mean? That's my only question mark. Not doubting his talent, because I think once he has that opportunity, I think he's going to show and prove.
Right.
But we see what Oladipo has done already, and I think he's more of a player that can come in and play his role and fit. Where LaVine, he might, I don't want to say outshine. He might try to do too much immediately. Like it's gonna be a learning process, a learning curve. The same Knicks and Bruises that Julius had to go through last year. You know what I mean? The same Knicks and Bruises RJ is adapting to this year. I think it's gonna take a full year for LaVine to go through that and then ascend. Where I think Oladipo could come right in, have a role, play the role, and just help us win. Long term, LaVine's will get us further in the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Short term, Oladipo.
I gotta give, and that's where, like you said, I ain't gonna pull a Mark if for some reason the Knicks, like we said, the brass say, oh, we, like you said, for whatever reason, it makes more sense for us to go, the Oladipo way. You know what I'm saying? Because again, at the end of the day, like you said, Tone, it does make it doesn't make more sense, but there's a lot of pros to saying, like you said, I only got to give up B instead of giving up 2 firsts or 3 firsts in 2 seconds. I only got to give up 1 first in 2 seconds, and then we got to throw in maybe a player, and that's maybe, like you said. But, like, for what it's worth, like you said, I do respect Oladipo, the fact that, again, been there, done that. He can, definitely come in and, he's a vet. So, he ain't, 30 something. Or is he, what is he, 27, 28?
Oladipo,
I think
he's 30.
Okay, yeah, he's closer to 30. So he has what? When you say he got 2-3, got a good 2-3 good years in him. So I don't know. Like I said, and that's the thing with him too. I guess when you say he's 30, do you think, Tone, he would? I mean, not saying it like that in the B Devil's advocate, but I guess since we're here, do you think he would maybe be like, no, I want to go to a contender? I would rather go to a contender. than go to a rebuilding team? Because again, if you think about it, if that was the case, he could stay in Houston and rebuild. You know.
Well, I just think
And necessarily, we're not rebuilding, but you can
technically we
tell
are
we're going,
rebuilding,
yeah.
but
We're
we're
yeah.
you know what I mean. We're right there on the cuffs of the playoffs.
True.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it would have been. Oh, I mean, Stephen Fox says Oladipo's 28, so
Okay.
you know
So
that
he
that
got a
changes
couple
things.
more years. Yeah, he has a couple more years.
You talking about like 5 years of prime
Prime Oladipo.
versus at least a 1 year learning curve. I think for a Zach LaVine, in my
And
opinion.
that's what, and I feel you on that, Tone, because you know we definitely we kindred brethrens when it comes to the mental of the Knicks and how we look at basketball. But I, you know, in what my counter to that is if you watched him, and that's what I said in that stint against us, to play that type of game with that type of group of players. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if he could play a passive, and that's what everybody was like, well, why he didn't go crazy on us? And I'm like, because again, he was
let the game
showing
come to
you,
him.
he's showing you, hey, I'm 25 years old. I already understand the game has slowed down to a Neo in the Matrix type, you know, to play for him. Where again, he was looking to see, okay, like I said, that first game, him and Markkanen picked us apart. Yeah, our defense was suspect and we was missing keys and all of that. But again, the what he did to us as far as when we blitzed, we blitzed him, he kicked it, they swung it, they did what they needed to do, and they scored. But again, a smart player like him, I think he would come in and he would find his spots where just in the offense, you know what I'm saying? Again, if it's okay, like how we said, if the lineup is your boy Elf, RJ, Levine, or you say Levine at the 2, RJ, however you want to do it, Julius 4, and Mitch at the 5. There already is a lack of shooting in that lineup, as we see anyway, because again, all you're doing is losing Bullocks, who, you know, like I said, would you know, prefer, you know, Bullocks, you know, maybe what 10-20% better defense, or, you know, Levine's 20%, you know, 20-point scoring consistently. You know what I'm saying? You know, and again, I really do, you know, and I see Stephen Fox said that catastrophic leg injury, but again, if you look at the eye test, which one of those two guys looks truly the more explosive? You know what I'm saying? And again, but I like, but as far as fiscal, like you saying, Tone, like what we just was talking about our bruises, and you know, hopefully they don't have PSTD with doing a deal like that for Levine rather than Oladipo, because they are like, ooh, you know, timid with it. Because again, if you are looking for what they said, they want sustainable winning. Do you, like you said, okay, do you want to say that, all right, we could go for Levine. I mean, we can go for Oladipo, maybe make a run this year. Okay, how much better do we look with Oladipo next year, and then year 3, and then now we got to pay him. So again, now you talk.
This is where,
Okay,
because
so
I think long term we would be paying Zach LaVine more than Oladipo.
True indeed. Okay, I can see
you
that.
Know what I mean?
Because Levine's money, like you said, Levine is gonna get at 25 right now. He would get the max with us. Him and Julius would get the max. Which would be, like I said, I will offer both of them 25 apiece. I would give them no more than 25
on LaVine money right now. I think we could offer him LaVine's contract that
for
that he
extended
had
years. So you think you think we could get Oladipo at 4 for 80 rather than getting Levine for 5 for 125? Okay. I see your head, Tom. And that's why I said, when you talking numbers, I like I said, I'm a numbers guy and I understand, you know, being fiscally responsible. And if that's what we're talking, I understand. But my thing is like, I mean, obviously it's the NBA, but do they really think they're going to spend that extra money elsewhere? And that's my thing. But again, that's where again the Derrick Roses and these other guys, and maybe giving my boy Kevin Knox a deal for 10 mil a year or something, two for 10 or something like that to keep him around as a shooter. So again, maybe I guess I see where you're saying, Tone. Maybe them keeping that extra 30, 40.
And again, I'm not even against Levine. Like
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
That's why I said I hear where you're saying, because again,
I'm just trying to think like the GM.
Yeah,
and here's what I really think. That if we get one of those two guys, it's gonna show. I think they're a collective group. You know what I mean? The front office, but it's gonna show where Perry is within that group and where Tibbs is within that group, because I think Tibbs would be the guy maybe, and it could go either way, because Tibbs wanting to win now for sure. He may want to go with Oladipo. You know what I mean? Just because again we've seen it from him, but he's also coached Levine. So if he pushes for Levine, that means I seen something in him.
Yes, I know. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know him and RJ and Julius. They could give us what we need for the next 3 to 5 years.
So I'm not mad either way. I'm not mad either way.
Because we would have some dogs, like you said. I just think that if you think about trajectory, I think Oladipo, his play doesn't get better. I think he gets smarter as a player, and like you said, he grows obviously mentally. That's where Oladipo's stage is now. Is his maturation will be, the knowledge and the IQ of the game over the next, like you said, if his contract of 4 years, you would be paying him for his, like you said, his mental IQ of what he could do to help the younger guys grow, help the team grow. And then again, when you're looking at Levine, you looking at maturation and physical attributes. So again, It's like you said, where are we, like you said, with that, and where's the Knicks mindset? Do they want to keep it safe, or do they want to go the other route? And again, if it's the keep it safe route, I wouldn't be mad. Like we said, Tone, like we both said, I can't be mad. And if we go to the A+ route, Tone, I'm gonna be excited. Like I said, I'm booking the ticket. I'm booking the ticket because I'm on my way. Like I said, we got to get in the Yiddy out on that one. But I think it's coming. One of those two, I think, will happen. It's just truly, I think, and maybe like we just said about your boy, I think this is a Dolan. I think I might have to call my boy Dolan, like, hey, Dolan, I need Levine, man. I need you to start meddling. I need you to start meddling, bro. You might have to go do a pop-up concert in Chicago or something. You got to start meddling, bro.
Dolan going to be like, and you get a draft pick, and you get a draft pick. Oh, what's this? Oh, another draft pick.
Another draft pick. I don't care. I want Levine. I don't care. This guy told me that we need Levine, and I will give up 5, 6 first rounders. No, I ain't giving up that. But I would definitely give up the Dallas too, and I would do a future swap though. I would do a future, like 26, 27 swap with them if that's what they want to do, something like that. But outside of that, that's the best I could do for them.
So here's the fact man. Stephen Fox says Oladipo's still producing 25 and 5 clip, and that is true. One of my concerns with Oladipo, well, it's actually not really a concern because I think right now he's not shooting very efficient.
Right.
I think he's taking like 18 shots to score 20 points. I think on this team he won't be taking 18 shots.
And so that's the thing too.
You know what I mean? I think it'll be.
So does that mean his production goes down as well as his percentage goes up, Tone? Is that what we thinking?
I think his percentage will go up. His production will go down, but not by much. So maybe instead of 20, maybe it's around 15.
Okay, or 17. But I still think he could go off because he can get his own. Oladipo is a guy who can get his own.
Those days that he does shoot 18 shots, I think those are days that we're looking at 40 points from him.
Yeah, he might give us 35 that night. He might drop 28, like you said.
Well,
And like you said, but and then I guess you know me, I'm gonna be my Levine advocate. Stephen Fox, you ain't never lied. But with that being said, Levine dropping what 28 and
yeah.
8 and 7. So you know what I'm saying. But you know, definitely. But like you said, Tom, it is again when you look at fit, when you look at, and that's why I said, that's why like I was when we was talking the other night about it. I said you would almost want to pull that trigger, or last night when we was talking, was you on there? No, that was me, Sim, and OG Divine, because I was looking at Chicago's schedule, and Chicago's
Yeah, I was on that.
schedule is,
I was
oh,
on
that
that.
was you, yeah, you was with us
Yeah.
last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Chicago's schedule is a gauntlet.
Three and 9 or something.
Yeah, 3 and 9 is
3 and 8.
the best way, right? We gave them. So again, if I'm you know Levine, if I'm the Knicks, I want to get this trade done now because again, same thing honestly with Oladipo too, to a degree. You kind of want to get the trade done now so you can get the next 6-7 games that you can get whoever it is into your organization, get them past the COVID protocol, get everybody to gel in. Quiet the noise as far as after the trade rumblings. If one of the young guys get traded, or if we only give up picks, whatever happens, you smooth everything over, and now you got the team that you want to make this playoff run with, because now you prayerfully at that time, Tone, we should be up 5th, 6th seed, you know, going into the break, you know. If we can do our job, and if we can secure one of those two, you would almost have to guarantee that we would finish this next 11 game stretch, at worst, you know, 9-2, you know. So if that's the case, I'm almost willing to say I would after the Rocket game, yeah, after that Rocket game, I think I'm definitely, once I see Oladipo, because we seen Oladipo too. And that's the thing, like when people say, oh, we get a chance to see Oladipo again, I'm like, we played against Oladipo and RJ ate his cookies. You know what I'm saying? You know, pause. But you know, it was like, that's what I'm saying. I think we've seen enough where we know enough where, again, I think if we truly want Oladipo, I think whatever the offer is, I think, you know, not saying it like that, but they'll make the offer because, again, we've seen enough of him to know what we will get. Like you said, Tone, we know we're going to get a guy who's been to the playoffs. Correction, I wouldn't give up RJ for Levine.
So
And see, that's Kavan. That's the one that we've all been talking about. And again, it depends on what the package is, because again, I wouldn't personally want to give up RJ either, but it depending on what they ask. Because again, if now say this, everybody who's saying they don't, if Chicago just said, "Hey, trade me RJ in a first, and you can have Levine," and see, you look at Tom Crow like, okay, well, even what if you said head up? Then what if Chicago just said RJ head up?
does it make us better? I think it does immediately, but nope.
What you say, no, Tom? You
still
still RJ, and see, that's where I'm like, I don't know my thing, and you know, maybe because I'm a Knoxer, but I don't know who RJ really, and again, maybe because again he's super young. Again, I can't see RJ's game, like watching D Wade, watching all them cats. Like I knew those guys were scorers. Like watching James Harden, and you know, and a lot of people make that comparison to them. James Harden at Arizona was a thriller. Like if people remember James Harden at Arizona State, like dude was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So RJ, yeah, he's a bully ball guy. I think he'll be that. You know, he'll take LeBron's bully ball mentality. Where again, RJ will always score 27, 28 points a game once he really hones in his skills. But again, RJ just being, I just don't see. I just don't see where RJ, like I said, athletically grows. Where does he grow? You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't have to though. That's
okay.
He's
Okay.
not. He's nowhere near the athlete Levine is. He will never be close to the athlete Levine is.
Okay.
RJ does too much. He does way too much. This boy rebounds the ball. He plays defense. He can pass. He can facilitate. Like and he learns from his mistakes. Not saying I don't. I haven't watched enough of Levine. Like I know what Levine's good at, but it's something about RJ that I want. I want him to. I want him to be here for the rest of his career.
Yeah, what you
You know what I
say?
mean?
What you say? He deserve it. Now, and see, now that's where, like you said, where you shaking your head, hell no, Tone. Like you said, excuse my language on the Bumps and Bruises show. I'm with you on that because again, understanding that, I'm like, okay, so wasn't RJ top prospect before Zion took off? Yeah, I guess he was. He kind of was. He was to a degree,
And
but
he reclassified.
yeah, and he reclassified. So technically, he wasn't supposed to come out till this year with Melo in them. But and to say all of that, I would definitely say I'm with you on that because again, I think, well, I know if you really want to solidify us as a team to go deep for years, you kind of can't give up RJ in that trade. You know what I'm saying? So again, Tone, I see why you like no. Where me, I'm like, whatever it takes, I want Levine. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But again, also to that same argument, I'm like, I also don't want to pull a Melo either. You know what I'm saying? Where again, we give up something that's going to hurt us, our growth. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, now the linchpin is the guy that I know everybody, well, not everybody, some people verdict is still out on, some people love him. As you know, a Tone, I already see, like you said, I see them cheekbones raising. It's Obi. Because again, that would I think would probably be the linchpin. And I don't know how much true clout Obi has with Leon Rose and CAA and how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like you said, the argument is going to be, I need quickly RJ, Mitch, or Obi, or a play or two, two of them. You know what I'm saying? So again, it might be, you know what I'm saying, depending on what Chicago's really asking for. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna want a young guy back. They're gonna want one of our young nucleus pieces. And again, I guess Tone to moving on. How would you feel about the Obi move then? What if they said Obi, Dallas is first, or no, your first, or we say Obi, your first, a potential swap first in a couple seconds for Levine?
I'd probably do it. I'd
Okay.
probably do it. I already said I think it takes both our rookies to get him, and
That might be the move too.
that's where I'm like I gotta really sit back and think about it before I say yes. But a package around Obi, yeah, Obi and quickly, I gotta think. I really gotta think.
I me too personally, because again, even though depending on how Dallas stinks up the joint, we would. Well, again, we got Derrick Rose, and obviously we know Tom Thibodeau ain't looking for no rookie, point guard. We would really just be looking for a player to come in and complement the team at that rate. So now we just drafting at best player available and fit to need. Stephen Fox said, "I'll do it." So yeah, like I said, there's some people out there with us where, like I said, I think I'm with the Obi trade too. I would definitely, as much as I hate to say it, let him get his jump man on out there in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think him and Patrick Williams, and I would hate to say it, but yeah, it would be tough to give up quickly, but yeah, I don't know. It would be one of your ones you got to sleep on with quickly. I would almost be. That's why I said I would almost be willing to. That's why my package that I'm the Knicks. If I'm jumping out the window, it would be giving up Dallas to first and just say to hell with it. I don't care where it falls. You can have them. And then giving up 2 seconds, and that's my Zach LaVine package. And I would throw Obi if they just want a big man. Obi can't post up Osmond from Chicago or Strakowski from Chicago. You're a knit 404. Hey, Stephen Fox is eating right now. And see, I don't even be killing Obi like that because I'm a Knoxer and I know everybody would just turn on me and go to work. But again, I have definitely had a lot of doubt about Obi. And my thing is, again, if we can package him for a star, we ain't gonna say Oladipo or Levine are superstars yet, but if we can package them guys for a star, I'm willing. Like I said, I would definitely, I would not cry at all once Obi was, what I'm saying, included in the package. You know what I'm saying? If it was Obi and quickly, yeah, that's gonna hurt me. But again, that means we give up less picks. But again, Tone Crow, I know, like you said, but again, if you Chicago, you're giving up so much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not giving up so much, but you're receiving so much with those picks. I would rather just rewrite my future. I think with picks, and taking Obi, I would just take Obi. I wouldn't even ask for Quickly more than likely because again, even though Quick is pretty good, you do got Kobe White. And then again, if you get the one of those top picks, you can take Jalen Suggs. You can take, our boy, your boy, Cade. Yeah, Fade for Cade. You know what I'm saying? You can take him. So that's why I said, I wouldn't mind it. And that's what I said. What you say, Stephen Fox? We got a foul for it. His name is Julius. And I'm with that. And that's why I said, and I think that, and watching the G League, man, that kid Justin Patton, and I think if they put some weight on Scal, Labrizier, man, they're going to open up our offense in so many ways, and I'm pretty sure that's the player that Tom Thibodeau more wants than anything at the four. And Obi is good, you know what I'm saying, but even still, I'm pretty sure. I think, like I said, the Knicks are playing chess, man. They're showcasing a lot of these guys in order that, again, if one of these big fish, if it's like you said, what sense would it have made to put Obi and Quickly on the bench if you knew that they may be a potential piece in a trade for a bigger fish? So again, I think they're playing chess. You know what I'm saying? That's why, as much as I hate to say it, that's why I think Frank and Knox is on the bench because they're like, nope, we don't want y'all to see them. We're gonna put them on ice, and we got RJ and Julius running the show, and we're gonna make this trade. Zach is a proven commodity. Draft choices are about potential, right? True, and I hear you on that Stephen. I just don't. If I'm Chicago, I'm not going to let that guy walk out the building for nothing. And he's going to leave Chicago. I'm pretty sure if it's a Vegas bet out there, it has to be, I'm pretty sure like at least 70% he's out of there after I would say even before the trade, but I said after his contract, I'm pretty sure easily he's 70% out of there. He got traded there in the trade for our boy Jimmy Butler. So again, it wasn't like he was drafted by Chicago. He's just played there for the last 2-3 years. So again, he owes them no loyalty. And again, the fact of the matter is I'm pretty sure they talked about playoffs, and there are no playoffs in their future this season. It's just not happening. And even next year, I don't believe it either. Even if they were to put together a run, I don't see that team there. Like I said, to the way they're constructed, marketing, I'm pretty sure he got hurt again. They're not going to re-sign him, so that means he would have to put all his faith in Patrick Williams. That would be Zach LaVine doing. He would have to put all his faith in Patrick Williams. And I don't know if I'm willing to put the next 5 years on a rookie kid. I'm straight. I'm going to New York where I can definitely make a push for the playoffs, where they definitely already going to the playoffs,
Yeah, because and they're gonna make a run, but they're gonna be running backwards after these 11 games, man. So I think that is a crucial moment.
Yeah, you tank it. You know what I'm saying? So again, now you down there with the who else they said is horrible. You with Washington, you with who out west that's stinking up the joint? Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
you down there with them because again they're 9 and something. I think they're 9 and 15, 9 and 16 or something right now. So and with the next 11 games, that means you can definitely be looking upward at 9 and 29 and what 25, 24, 26, 27. If you're looking at there's no way Zach LaVine is staying on a team like that.
Yeah, I think I said like 11 and 23.
Yeah,
La
at best,
yeah,
at best.
11
You're
and 20 23.
they're at what 22, 20. I mean 22, 23. I'm sorry. They're at what 12, 13 in the East with a record like that. You would literally be probably like a game or two above Washington, and depending on if Washington get a couple games, if you had a wing who can shoot, Randall would average a triple double exactly, and that would be Zach LaVine, and that's Zach LaVine because again he's going to get the. Hey, can you imagine a team coming in saying, "Oh, we're going to double team Zach LaVine"? You gonna give Julius Randle 1-on-1s? You gonna give RJ 1-on-1s? You gonna give
Or
Elfrid Payton 1-on-1s or backdoor cuts? You got
or
Mitch
or,
open
or
lobs to Mitch.
double team Randall and leave Zach open. That's what you're gonna do.
Because even like my boy Clyde said, he's a good bad shot taker. So again, even on his worst nights, like the games he's seen us, I'm pretty sure I think he was holding back. He didn't want to go out there and go crazy. Like I said, but again, like I said, him going 0 for 7 from 3 was an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? That dude don't shoot like that. Like I said, if anything, like we said, he would still he would still shoot the ball the same percentage as Bullocks is shooting, but give us even a better mid-range game and a better slashing game. Because again, you see, he with 3-4 seconds on the clock, all I need is a dribble and 2 steps, and I'm dunking. So again, that's the type of player, you know what I'm saying, LaVine is. You know what I'm saying? So again, it just depends on where the mindset is, Tone. It depends on where the mindset is.
Well, again, I have total faith in this current front office and coaching staff. So I have faith they'll make the right decision.
I think so
Either
too.
way, So I'm gonna just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And hopefully we got something to celebrate. Come playoff time.
Yeah, I think so too, man. As weird and as crazy as it is that, like I said, we, Tone, the journey, obviously Knicks and Bruises go back, to, like I said, wrong way in 1964, but, bigger than that, you know what I'm saying? It's now to see where, the MBK film then came to where, this current roster has came because again, remember, it was just, like I said, 3-4 years ago, bro, we was jumping in the chat and we was pulling our hair out. We was, jumping on each other. We didn't have no MBK etiquette. We was, we was out here having civil wars in the chat. Like it was bad. We done came from some bad days, Tone. So, you know what I'm saying? To see where we going,
and to think when we found Sim Nothing But Knicks, that was to release some of the stress. You
right?
know what I mean?
Bro, cause I ain't gonna front. I left a couple nights, bro, where I'm like, bro, I ain't lying. Like my girl looking at me like, you all right? I'm like, I just wanna, I just can't get on the chat. I ain't get on the chat for a couple days. Like I'm straight. Like I said, and that's where we all like, we're like, you know what, man, we taking this too serious. Like these Knicks, they ain't paying our bills yet. You know what I'm saying? But, and again, it feels good that to be a real fan because again, we went through the Laker dude selling his Knick fandom, all of the bumps and bruises that we done went through, Tone, you know what I'm saying, over these just 3-4 years that we'd have been in the MBK fam. But it feels good that we know that we are on a direction going up, and you know what I'm saying, we just a couple pieces away. Big Weezy didn't want to come off court issues. He can light it up, and he's just entering his prime. Many has Anthony Edwards, and something that we, I brought that up, Stephen, a couple What was that? That was last night, Tone. Did I say that? Or
I
that was
think so. Oh no, I think last night we was talking about his actual issue.
Yeah. No.
Whether he was doing that 130 days or something.
Yeah, and I think that's when I might have chimed in then. But Steven, you bringing that up, bro, that I would definitely, if Levine isn't the guy, if for some reason you could work out that deal with Minnie, that you could get him, you know what I'm saying, for, like you said, what Tone Crow said, like if you could get him for the Oladipo deal, if you could throw them one pick and a player, or one pick and a couple seconds, that would be, what I'm saying, that would be the move. Because again, I think he fits the more Tom Thibodeau true mold. And again, if you're not going to jump out the gym and throw those, the 2 first rounders, a potential swap, and the 2 seconds to get Levine, I think that's, as much as I hate to say it, I think that deal would not be bad. I would really love that. I would really love Beasley, because I wanted Beasley this offseason.
Is Beasley better than the kid from Sacramento?
Which one?
The shooter.
Oh, Hield, Buddy Hield?
Yeah.
Not a pure shooter, but obviously Buddy Hield, that dude, he behind Steph when it comes to pure shooting. But as far as pound for pound player, yes, yeah, I would definitely, and I seen people say, like, I was big on Buddy Hield, but watching him and his progression over the last couple, even though he's in Sacramento, over the last couple seasons, it's been sad, almost to a degree, because again, you would think that being a professional and a good shooter, you're gonna keep progressing and you're gonna keep getting better. You know what I'm saying? And again, he can shoot, but again, he's not progressed in the rate that you would think that a guy that good a couple years ago would have been. You would have thought he would be shooting up with Steph, numbers right now, and still being able to score off the dribble as much as you thought, but he can't.
No doubt. But I'm gonna close it out, or let you close it out before I give my final words. But I do want to say I appreciate you coming on. And I do want to shout out the chat, Stephen Fox. As always, I appreciate you. I got to get you on. Get my number from Freezy. Send me a message. We'll set something up. Divine, I see you checked in. Appreciate you. Sim, Davon, I believe that's how you say it. I appreciate you, man.
That's what's up.
Everybody else, as always, shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Hit the like button, subscribe. Keep an eye out for Prince. He got the Knickville, the Westchester Knicks segment, and I'm sure we got a bunch of other things coming, man.
I like that. That Knickville, we might have to call that. You know what I'm saying? The Westchester Knickville. I like that.
There we go. Yeah, man. We trying to build the network up, man. So keep supporting Knicks at Night. I'll see you guys tonight. Guillermo, wherever you are,
right?
Gotta get you on here. I know we gonna rock out for like a good hour and a half with your Knicks and Bruises. But Prince, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. This is dope, man. And like I said, to be number 9 is divine. You know what I'm saying? So again, I appreciate it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Definitely to come on again, to be, to jump on. I would definitely love to do it, bro. I appreciate you. Anytime, any assistance, let me know. You always do it. The bumps, the Knicks and Bruises family. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for having me. Hey, man, Tone Crow working hard, and I appreciate this dude for this platform. This is dope. This was an awesome experience. I mean, I learned some about myself. I pulled things out about my own nickdom that I really didn't even think about or truly know. So thanks, Tone. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. And I won't mention that whole Chicago Bulls thing.
It's cool, yeah. Keep that on the low. Like I said, outside of the people who gonna watch it, I know it's gonna be about 1,000 people, but still, man, don't beat me up, man. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, appreciate you, man. Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Knicks and Bruises.
Peace.
For sure.